it's squeezing into my boot. It's coming up. Oh no! Oh! I'm actually bogged on bogged.
If there's one place that'll push a new build to its limits, it's gotta be the Victorian High Country.
We've done some hairy stuff, but that is up there.
Yeah. We're here to shake down a brand new addition to the 4Drive 24/7 stable.
There it is. I bought it. You kidding?
And it's a rig you've asked for years.
That's scary. Oh my bloody goodness.
We're taking it and my new Hilux for the ultimate test run, and it's gonna get wild.
Woo! Yes!
We haven't even started the truck yet, probably like 100 metres in. Something tell me it's going to be one of Jock's good old stitch ups, I reckon.
And our newest build might be dead before it's even finished its first trip.
Ooh! That sounded bad.
Our journey to Vic from New South Wales is the first big shakedown for my new N70 build. And so I brought Jesse along as a supportive navvy. And we're getting along exactly like a house on fire.
Considering last time we went down to Victoria, I proper towed you up in the pony.
And you think I'm excited to be in a Toyota?
I'm a winch truck driver. I can
You
do all
must
this
have.
driving.
Oh, I've never quoted that.
I smoked you.
We're a couple hours into this trip, and I thought, yep, I can do this. I can be Jock's navvy for 2 weeks in the High Country, but I don't know if I can do this.
It's funny you say that, mate, because I've planned ahead. You're not going to be in the car with me for 2 weeks. I've got a little surprise for you. I bought another car.
What did you get? A Toyota?
Nah, it's just there. Check that out. Oh, you're kidding? There it is. I bought it.
What?
I haven't even seen it yet. I bought it sight unseen.
Now there is one vehicle that we've been asked to bring back to the channel by you guys more than any other. And finally, I've found the perfect one. A mint 1989 Suzuki Sierra I tracked down on Facebook Marketplace.
Mate, look at this thing.
You bought me a Zook. It needs a bit of love, but
It does.
does it go?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it said it had rego and it ran.
That's pretty cool. It's
What
pretty
a
cool.
peach. How cool. Well, mate, he looks like he's done a bit of body work. There's probably a bit of bog in it.
Main thing is, it's got a recovery point in the
Oh,
front.
well,
That's
sweet
me
then.
getting the workout, I reckon.
Well, I don't think there's any better way to test your skills as a driver and to see how little Zook goes by pointing it up some of the steepest and most beautiful tracks in the country. I reckon we get on the road, mate. If it makes it down
yeah,
the High
let's see if it
Country
makes it there first. And if it makes it there, it's going to be a wild trip, I reckon.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
See if she starts.
As we all know, Jesse is a gun behind the wheel of nearly any four-wheel drive. So I thought it's time to truly put his skills to the test. This Zook is bog stock, with some all-terrains and a bull bar. No lockers, no lift, no winch, just Jesse and 47 horsepower of pure Japanese-built goodness. The VIC High Country is the perfect place to test out a couple of new builds, and we're lining up 3 iconic tracks over 3 days in the Dargo region: Orton's, Crooked River and Billy Goats. The perfect trip calls for a crew of good mates to join us, and sure enough, they're waiting for us at a pin near the entry to the tracks. We are stoked because on this trip, we're being joined by a couple of new faces to the crew, including Liv from Performance Tourers.
Mate, how are you liking it so far?
It is bloody beautiful. I'm stoked to be here and I cannot wait to see what the VIC High Country has to offer.
Liv is sporting a kitted out D-Max called Betty. Don't tell Graham this, but I reckon it's one of the sickest D-Maxes I've seen in a while. Next up is Blake from Tough Dog Suspension, in a newly built 80 series that will flex its way through anything thrown at it out here.
We actually went out and got this vehicle just for the trip. 5 days ago it was pretty stock and we've put everything on it and got it ready, and hopefully it performs pretty well.
Rounding it out is not so new face and a local around these parts, our good mate Liam sporting the Steady 200.
We're probably, what, an hour from your place, mate? Local tracks, how good is it?
I hope I have a homegrown advantage, let me tell you.
With our first tough track getting close, there's just one more thing to do, and that's find a name for the big red beastie.
You remember that big red dog from when we were kids, Clifford?
Oh, I remember Clifford. Yeah, he was a friendly puppy.
Yeah, he was red, he had a bit of go about him, just like the Zook, got a bit of ticker. What do you reckon of Cliff or Clifford?
Yeah, I reckon that's quite fitting, Clifford the Zook.
The High Country is a maze of steep mountain tracks and deep rivers, and it's got to be the first real test for my N70. If you followed along at home, you'll know I've been building this up as a weekend warrior, something that I can use around town during the week and still take out wheeling. And I'm rearing to see how she fares on the tracks.
What a little mouth go.
One go.
Oh, mate, loved it. Bit of momentum, like you said. Zook's at home.
With the Zook showing us it's got what it takes at the entry-level stuff, it's time we pointed our noses to something a little more Jesse and Jock style.
We haven't even started the truck yet, probably like 100 metres in. I'm already clearing the track. Something tell me it's going to be one of Jock's good old stitch-ups, I reckon. When have I ever stitched you up? I'd need to take my shoes off to count the amount of times that's happened.
Up ahead is the start of track number 1, the infamous Orton's track. Now this track features a huge climb up a mountain, but first you actually have to make it down this very sketchy, committing descent, and that's going to be a real problem for Clifford.
We've come to a section of track that's pretty steep, and going downhill in a little Suzuki Sierra that's got a short wheelbase and manual steering can be a little bit wild. We want to be nice and safe, so what we've done, we've swapped Jesse around. He's going to go in front of me. I'm going to drive down behind him just with the winch, so when he gets to some areas that are real gnarly and it's starting to tip in, I can just hold a bit of tension on there. So I'm going to go down with him nice and slow, but I'll stay far enough away that if he does get into a pinch, I can just winch in.
All right, Jesse, I've left a bit of slack out of it so you can get a little bit ahead, but enough that I can, once it gets tension, I can winch in if I need to. But once it starts to take up tension, I'll start to drive forward as well.
It's probably the most scary thing I've ever done, full drive, and I've done some loose stuff.
We have done some loose stuff, but mate, we've done it together and we'll do this together too. Nice and slow, and we'll get you down.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here for this one. I'm glad you're here.
So the reason we're using a winch and not a strap is that if it gets wild, I can just winch in at the last second, whereas it's hard for me to reverse on a hill like this and put tension on the strap. So hopefully I'll just have a bit more control. We're kind of using the winch rope as a bit of a leveling strap, provided the Luxie's brakes hold. Fortunately, I chucked a Bendix brake upgrade in, and I'm going to be using all of them, all of the brakes. Does it look steep out there? Because it feels steep in here.
Doesn't take much to get Jesse shook, but this is something that's pretty sketchy. If it had roll cage, I'd be laughing. Is that still got tension?
Yeah, you're on tension there, but I'm going to slip down a bit.
Yep. Maybe lower me down then.
This pinch is the real crux of the challenge. A deep rut that could easily lead to a roll if we get it wrong.
Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Your back tyre's trying to climb out of the hole.
Stuck going downhill, that's pretty loose.
It's not often you see a vehicle lifting wheels going down a hill, but here we are.
I'm glad that bit's over. Crazy, man. Far out.
All right, mate, I'm just going to start squaring up to it a bit more.
Bloody insane.
We've cleared the first rut in the Zook, but now the Hilux needs to tackle it, with the Zook attached.
Fortunately, I'm a long dog, so I should be all right.
This is wild.
Just hold up there a sec, mate. I might just reposition through this if you're in a good spot.
Just let it off and I'll see if I can stab it. I should be right here, I think.
A little bit left hand now. Coming off the step now.
Yep.
Good.
Woo-wee! Good morning, Vietnam!
Yeah, it's just about to flatten out now. Beautiful, mate. This is loose, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit wild.
It's very us though, it's quite fitting. I thought you were going to end up on top of me for a second then.
It's also worth mentioning here that winching the vehicle down the hill like this may not always be your first option. Fortunately, we can get away with it because the Suzuki is very, very light. But if you have heavier rigs in the convoy, a better way to do this would be to anchor the vehicle that's winching the vehicle down to a tree or another vehicle and edging it down slowly.
Wow, that was very loose. I'm glad Jock was here for that. And like I said, it was loose, but that's what me and Jock do. We do wild stuff. I'll tell you what, that was nothing short of wild. Pushing limits, there's nothing better. There's nothing better.
Dude!
That was wild, man.
We've done some hairy stuff in the past, but that is up there.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart is racing. That was insane.
I think that's a classic example of, spending a bit of time preparing before
Yeah,
you
we
do
come up with a
something.
plan before we just went busting down there. That was a good bonding exercise.
Next vehicle up, and we're going to take a slightly different line for this one. Just going to keep him nice and steady. Going to see how she behaves when it gets to this step, and that'll determine the second stage of it. Good news is he's got good suspension and he's in an auto, so nice and smooth. He should have no dramas. Keep coming forward on that. A little bit more right, just a smidge.
Right now is probably a good time to mention that the brakes in the 80 series aren't really amazing either. So Blake's going to take it nice and slow down here.
All right, this is going to be a little bit of a drop, but it's nice and smooth. You're in a real good line. So just edge it forward. Going to use that sidewall. Look at that. Beautiful. Smidge your right just a little bit. That's it. That's it. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yep. You're on that. Perfect, mate. That's it. Now drive forward. Drive forward. That's it. That's it. Drive forward a bit. little bit more. Now straighten up, that's it. Beautiful. That's you all the way down, baby. Hey, Liv, you ready?
She's keen.
Yeah. You'll nail it, mate.
I think
You'll
she
nail
said
it.
she doesn't need a spot either. She's just going to
cool.
drive down.
Yeah.
It's a walk in the park.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The park was like this.
The D-Max loves to lift a wheel, so Liv's going to be on the edge of her seat, literally, for this one.
I think this is the steepest track I've ever driven down in this car. She's real heavy in the rear, so I'm hoping that's going to keep us down.
Nice and steady. Down she comes, well done. Cool, stay on that.
That back flexes a fair bit.
Yeah, just edge forward on that. It's going to drop again, but just stay on that line. There you go, beautiful. Yep,
Holy
stay on that.
heck.
Beautiful, you down? Cool, stay on that, don't steer just yet. Yep. Now right hand down, that's it. Beautiful. Now as you come into this rut, start to steer up the rut a little bit to just keep the side of your car off the bank. Yep, that's it, now steer left. Woo. Beautiful, and that's you all the way.
Last up is the big 200. I reckon Liam's got this one in the bag. The 200 loves this sort of terrain. It's wide and low and
Look at
big.
it, flex.
Didn't even lift a wheel. Nice,
Love it, mate. Smidge your right hand down just a little bit. That's it. Now this side's starting to drop. Beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that, Jocko, the master spotter.
Far from it, mate. Coming down. Yep. You're pretty much in the rut now. That's it. Yep. That's it. Beautiful. Wide dog.
We've made it to the bottom of the hill. But in the high country, every descent is just the intro to another climb, and this one is a doozy. Now, I'm going to say this once and once only. The cameras do not do the sheer steepness of these tracks justice. Coupled with the shaly nature of the high country, and even the smallest of challenges are frightening. The Zook has nothing in its favour when it comes to traction other than momentum.
Fucking Bronco. Come on, Clifford. Yeah, go Clifford.
So Jesse is tackling this the only way he can, and that's in full send mode. If the Zook gets stuck on these steep shaly sections, it'll be a long, hard recovery all the way to the top.
Yeah, boy.
But Jesse is absolutely nailing it. Blake is up next and tackles this with a little less drama. But even with big tyres and good suspension, a lot of commitment is needed to make it through. The rest of the convoy is soon up the first pinch.
Woo.
But the climb is only getting started.
Jesse, mate, I had to get into it a little bit. Oh, I'm not up yet. You might have to, Ooh. Oh, sorry, I need to concentrate here.
This climb just keeps on giving and the steepness doesn't let up. It also doesn't help that it's just so scrabbly underfoot.
Maybe if I get higher first. Ooh, that felt heaps good. I'm gonna get a bit higher a bit earlier. Let's see how we go. Jesse, you might need to pick a Zuki line up that one. I had to have a few goes, but I reckon you'll love it. Bring it up.
Zook might be on his limits by the looks of this hill.
The unlocked little Zook has got its work cut out for it, and Jesse's going to have to get his foot down here. Jesse has driven a lot of vehicles in tough places that'd scare the pants off most four-wheel drivers. But even he is looking pretty nervous on this one. Get it wrong, and a rollover is a real possibility. The problem is the Zook has absolutely no flex, and as soon as it lifts a wheel, it loses all traction, and it's back to square one.
Do you want me to give you a pull up, Jesse? Cool.
Really scary.
Go, little Cliff! Come on. Oh, you're so close, man. Go, Cliff! Go, go, go!
Come on, Cliff!
All the way! All the way! Go, Cliff!
Go, Cliff! Oh, that's scary. Oh my bloody goodness. Don't try this at home, folks. You shouldn't always drive like this, but on these hills, you need a little bit of momentum being unlocked. The scary thing about the Zook is the front keeps going to the ear and throwing me off the line. It stuffed me on that first bit. You see the whole front, I was on a good line, and the whole front bounced in the air and just put me off the track. I had to stop. It was a bit hard to get going, but we got there. Scary moments.
The best thing about Zooks is you see a line, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go up that way. A Zook goes, nah, I'm gonna go like this. He just drove up around there. I wouldn't have been able to do that. That was well driven. Epic, how cool is this? A stock Zook in the high country and Jesse is driving it. Oh, this is sick.
There's a couple of deep ruts on this section that cut across the track, and it makes for a few butt-clenching moments, especially in an IFS vehicle, which, as we know, love to pick up a wheel. Liv is pushing the D-Max to its limits to make it up, but then she hits those ruts.
Woo-wee!
Holy mother of God.
Bet that felt good.
Yeah, wasn't too sure about that line choice.
No, that's fair. Yep, you're right, straighten up. Cool, now what you want to do is just snake your bum over to these trees a bit more and bring the car up here a bit more.
Copy.
Keep going back. Stop there. Come left hand down and come up here. Yep, starting that, beautiful. Now start to steer a little bit of right.
With Liv lined up for round 2, she picks a much better line, and Betty's making her way up. But the lean is just too much for the heavy rig to make it.
Yep, drive through it, drive, whoop, hey! I think you're gonna need to do that with momentum. Yeah, you need a little bit more booty to get through that.
Hey.
How's that feeling?
Could you go back and straddle that side?
Yeah, that's probably
like put
the
the front
option.
locker on if you wanted to crawl it and just straddle that side.
Yeah, that probably
Yeah,
didn't feel
try
very
front
good, did it? Yeah. Is your front locker off?
Yeah, it's off. I'm just doing rear at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
All right, yeah.
Woo!
You could back down there and try that side.
That's what I did.
All right, we got the front locker on, picking a bit of a different line. We're gonna see how this goes.
Keep going. Keep going. Now start to steer this way. Yep. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Beautiful.
Yep,
Yep.
that's it. Drive through that.
that.
Drive through it. Drive through it. Drive through it.
Yeah, keep driving.
Drive, 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 drive. That's it.
Yep, beautiful.
Yeah, right hand down.
Yep,
Beautiful. That's it.
Beautiful.
Well done. Well done. That was sick. Perfect amount of throttle control.
Beauty, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
No matter how many times she lifts, as soon as she does it, I'm like, woo!
Yeah.
Hello.
Always. It's a good bit of fun. Well done.
Beauty, thanks, mate. All right, up she goes.
Liam's been waiting patiently for his crack at the climb and hasn't seen any of the dramas up in front.
What's ahead of me is a little bit of a surprise.
But the local advantage is showing, and he's sailing on through.
Rut? What rut? 200
Yeah.
straight through the
Wide
guts of
dog.
it.
Look at that.
Little wheel lift,
Beautiful.
big wheel lift. No stress for Liam.
It's like you're just going for a Sunday drive,
Yeah.
mate.
What was all that
Straight up.
commotion? I could hear everyone go, 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 left, right. I could hear all the commotion.
That was Jesse driving like a Queenslander in that unlocked Suzuki Sierra.
That just shows you different cars, different lines. Liam's car's a lot wider. It is heavy, but it's wider, coil suspension. He just cruised up the middle. The Zooka had to duck around the outside so I didn't flex it out. And Liv's car heaps of weight in the back, so we couldn't go across the rut. We had to straddle it. But you just got to learn your car, and the best way to do it is get out and drive tracks like this.
With the end of the climb in sight and light slowly fading behind the mountains, it's time to get our foot down and see if we can make it to camp. But Jesse and Clifford have other ideas.
Come on, Clifford. Come on, Cliff. You can do it. Oh, I'm hoping I can take off from here because I can't go back. I'll probably most likely die. So, wish me luck, folks. I might just try to take off them first. Here we go. It's really scary because you've got to hold momentum in this car, but yeah, it's a bit scary sometimes to do so. Oh, beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do here. This is kind of scary staying so high, but it is what it is, I guess.
With the rest of the convoy up and a big day behind us, I reckon it's about time I get us to a camp.
You're probably wondering, we get this a fair bit. Where do you guys find all your campsites? Because, you know, we find some pretty amazing ones traveling around the country. We actually use this app, VIC Camps. And if you haven't seen it before, the cool thing is it's showing me where I am in the high country, showing me all the campsites in the area. And I found this one here by the river called Ollie's Jump Up. And the cool thing is, if you jump in here, you get all the details on the campsite. go down here, there's a little get directions button, press that, jump into maps, and it's telling me I'm 26 minutes away, which I reckon is good because it means cold beers and a roaring fire by a river is not that far away. I reckon after the drive some of you guys did today, you've earned a cold beer around a campfire.
100%, mate. A cold beer sounds good to me. Let's go.
Hey, that's music to my ears. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I might change my undies and wash it down with a beer, I reckon. But yeah, I think that's just about the limit of Clifford on these steep tracks.
I reckon we start cruising towards camp and maybe get out of this pinstripey bush and find a nice grassy spot to roll the swag out.
Sounds good, mate. I don't know what you mean about pinstripes. None of hitting me.
Sure enough, just down the track is a perfect campsite by the river, and our first chance to test out the camping setup on the new rigs.
The VIC High Country, how spectacular is this place? We're so lucky to be here, and of course we've got some new mates on this trip and new vehicles. We've got Jesse in Big Cliff the Zook, and I've been driving the big N70. Some of you may not have seen it. I've been building it up kind of in the background over the last year or so, and the ultimate goal was to build a bit of a reliable go-anywhere tourer. You know, I'm not getting any younger, and it was just time I wanted something with a little bit more comfort, and the fact that I can actually do the speed limit in this is very nice. It's definitely something I'm not used to. On the drive down, I had aircon and cruise control, and I was doing the speed limit. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. But anyway, let me show you through it because, of course, we've got plenty of horsepower under the bonnet. Tommy's put a turbo, he's done the front main intercooler, plus 30 injectors, valve body, all that sort of stuff. More power than I could ever ask for under the bonnet. It's comfortable inside. I've got storage boxes on top, but in the back, I've kept the tub, and I learned a few things from the Pony. I had the storage box and then the fridge on the side, and that was pretty much it. It was pretty bare bones. This one though, I've got a couple of drawers and a fridge slide. Let me show you my thinking on how I've laid it all out. Now again, I wanted a bit more permanent storage, so I've got one of these DriveTech drawers, and then I've got the kitchen here with a bit of a smaller drawer. Clear view slide, of course, and behind there, I've got that 20-litre Jerry from the Pony that's got a little pump in it. And I've got a DriveTech 12-volt system in here. On the left-hand side, I've got my little switch panel. That's for the lights, fridge, compressor, water pump, and inverter, which is over that side. It's a 2,000 watt inverter, so plenty of power. I mainly charge power tool batteries and things like that, but it's nice to know that that's in there. It's a simple, reliable 12-volt setup, and so far, I've been really happy with it. Now though, I'm gonna sit by the fire with everyone, have another beer.
Camping in the high country is some of the best you will do anywhere in Australia. With the right weather conditions, you'll be warm in the day and sitting by a fire at night. And after a wild day on the tracks, it makes it all the sweeter. We love this place more and more every time we visit. But what about you? Is the high country on your bucket list? Just wait to see our plan for tomorrow. It's gonna be next level.
Get 25% off a snatch recovery kit right now at 4drive247.com. It's the exact same kit we use on all the trips. This one's my one. As you can see, I've given an absolute flogging. The reason I like it so much is you can separate the compartments. So I've got all my winch related stuff on one side, then on the other side I've got a snatch strap. The bag also doubles as a recovery damper as well, which means you've got this little strap here. What that does is it stops the bag sliding up and down the winch rope whilst you're doing the recovery. These are absolutely mint, so get 25% off yours. Every four-wheel drive needs one of these at 4drive247.com.
People who've spent time or live in the high country will know that the weather up here is something that is incredibly unpredictable. And the morning light shows the consequences of what was a major downpour last night. With a pretty wild track lined up today, everyone is taking the time to check over the rigs and make sure they're in shape to tackle whatever the day throws at us.
As you do before you leave camp in the morning, everyone's got their bonnets up, checking their air filter. It's been quite dusty, their oils and stuff. What I'm checking is the car's gonna hold together. Yesterday, the roof actually come fully off. All these bolts rattled out. Even these ones here that hold an actual car together have come off. So I've got Jock's bolt sausage out there, and we're getting heaps of bolts out of it. Just putting the car back together so it doesn't actually fall apart while we're on the tracks today.
Yesterday, when you started this thing up,
on one of those hills. My neck snapped and turned around when I heard it fire up. It sounds unreal.
Yeah, so that's what Tommy and I performance tourers do. We build up these cars so they're safe, reliable, but they've also got that extra horsepower there and that whole performance side of things, you know, ready for your big trips or doing tracks like you saw us do.
Yeah, for sure. Because I guess, like, I know you guys for a fact go pretty remote with this thing. You're carrying a bit of weight and stuff, so you've done a few mods. What have you actually done to it?
Yeah, so just a couple of things that we've done to old Betty here. We've obviously got the upgraded airbox and snorkel. We've done a big old front mount intercooler at the front there, auto transcooler, plus 30 injectors, and also done our custom tune.
Pretty wild, and hasn't let you down.
Not once has it let us down. And like you said, it's safe, reliable, but it's also got that extra horsepower there for when I needed to get out of sticky situations. Mate, I couldn't be happier with it. Like, from the touring to the tough wheeling, like, what more could you want, really?
Yeah.
With the frothing done and dusted, it's pack up and straight onto the tracks.
All right, another glorious day in the high country.
The track we have lined up today is known as Crooked River. The track meanders north to south through the valleys of the mountains and contains 23 river crossings, all of which we're going to take on.
Well, it wouldn't be a high country trip without starting to get into a few river crossings. And this first one here looks nice and long. Jesse, I might go through first, mate. Maybe give us a bit of space, and then once it's all good, we'll maybe send the Zook through, you reckon?
Yeah, mate, wish me luck. Hopefully they don't float. But yeah, this is a beautiful part of the world. So many nice creeks, beautiful hills. Good luck, mate.
All right, we'll see what happens. Let's go, Luxie. Rocky bottom, mate. Just a nice little bow wave. It's not too deep. It might be a little bit deeper for the Zook, but there's plenty of traction here. I'm just cruising through.
Yeah, he cruised. That's an impressive bow, mate. You nearly surfed that.
River crossing number 1 done.
Rightio, I'm coming through. Clifford's second creek crossing. Wish him luck.
I'll give you a bump from behind, Jesse, if you start floating.
It kind of feels normal looking at the window, seeing water at a little cliff. This is fun as. It's a real experience. You just bounce like that. You hit a rock and you don't soak it up. You just bounce.
So little Suzuki, look at that.
Mate, Clifford's made for this sort of stuff. He's loving it.
Beautiful. How gorgeous is this?
The Gippsland area we're travelling through has only recently experienced a heavy flooding event, which means banks are washed out and there's debris all over this place.
Hey Jesse, mate, I think the floods have done a number on this track. There's a steep exit here that's going to be pretty wild. I'll see how I go, but yeah, we'll watch me and then we'll decide how the Zook goes. Here I go.
Looks like a bit of fun, mate. I reckon you're going to get a pretty big wheel lift up there. Oh, mate, nice drive. That N70 is a weapon. I don't know how the Zook's going to go, though.
Just at the top there, I was able to give it a little bit of a bump up, and lucky I got plenty of power, so I'm keen to see how you go.
Big steep climb. I reckon the Zook's going to pick a big wheel here. Might feel pretty wild.
No, it's the holes here, mate. You got to come forward.
I reckon that's about all the 47 or so horsepower that little Zook has. But if I know anything about Jesse, it's that he's a determined bloke.
Oh, so close! You're almost there.
I didn't think it was going to launch out
I didn't think it'd get that far either. I think the look of surprise on your face, I think Cliff was surprised too. He was like, oh wait, I'm actually up, I'm doing it.
That was so
Yeah, what a ring! How good is that?
that was awesome.
The little Zookie that could, mate. That was
Sometimes
awesome.
you just got to go back and
Have a real go.
have another go.
Zook loves this sort of stuff, eh?
Oh, that was sick.
That car, man, keeps on surprising, I swear.
Oh, it's a little mountain goat.
How good's that?
Pretty cool. Well, Blake's up next, and he's got real good suspension in this vehicle, and this is where Yadi can flex through and do its thing. I reckon he'll nail this. That's it! Well done!
Nice drive. The boys are up now. It's time for Liv to come and show us up. I'll tell you what, this thing has got a fair bit of weight in the back. I've got no doubt it's going to do a mad wheel lift.
Okay, all right, here goes nothing. Why do I do this to myself?
job.
That was awesome. Working the wheel, bit of traction.
Yes!
Bit of left, right, good night.
Really good throttle control too.
Yeah.
Like when it started to take off, she backed off.
Backed
so
off,
if it gripped
yeah.
up, it didn't break.
And also, did you notice as the front came down, she just
Backed
edged
off,
off the
yeah.
throttle? That was mint.
that was. I don't know where she's learned that from. Definitely not from
Definitely
us.
not from us. Yeah.
That was bloody unreal.
All right, my turn. Lucky you asked.
Liv and Betty made that look easy, but I reckon Liam's got this one in the bag. Or not.
No, forward, mate. Forward.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah,
I've got it in reverse.
You might need you to operate some of the differential locking devices. But I didn't have to do that, just to let you know, Liam.
I didn't have to do gloves either.
I didn't even have the door locks on.
No, he doesn't succumb to peer pressure, does he? He's just nice and controlled. He's a cool cucumber. There we go. Well done, mate.
It's amazing what a front diff lock does, hey?
Yeah, we're trying to G you up there, but you're a consummate professional.
Under normal conditions, the crossings on this track are pretty doable. And if driven with some care, you should get your rig through okay. But the High Country has just come out of a big flooding event in the past couple of weeks, and it's turned the track into a different beast. The water is pumping through and some of the crossings are very deep.
That was deeper than I thought. Hey, Jesse, that one's a little bit deep, mate. You're going to have fun with that.
Yeah, maybe I'll take it easy just so I don't get water on it over the carby and stuff. See how many holes in the floor go though if I go slow.
Oh, it's screaming into my boot! It's coming up! Oh, no! Oh! Oh! It's like 300 mil high! I'm actually bogged, I'm bogged! Oh, no!
You're bloody kidding. That thing's turned into a submarine.
Oh, I was going slow to try and not splash water in the carby. And I'm stuck. My clothes bag's gonna get wet. Everything's gonna get wet.
You're bloody kidding me.
Usually you want to be prepared for this sort of stuff, but yeah, we got a bit unprepared for this one. So I'm just gonna give him a quick tug. Oh, she's off. She's turned off. My seat's about to go under.
The Zook has actually gone in and started floating, lost traction and bogged down. And those door seals aren't proving useful. It's filling up quick and we need to get this thing out of there or we might just lose the vehicle altogether.
The seat's underwater. Everything's underwater. Fortunately, we're quick on the recovery gear and it'll be quick to pull him out. The drama will be to get all the water out of inside probably the everything because the airbox is on the side that's underwater right now. Copy, Jesse. I'm ready to go when you are.
Yeah!
Wow!
Well, the Zook has truly broken in now.
Oh man, there's so much water coming out of that vehicle.
Let's hope it's just broken in and, well, not broken.
Oh.
What has he done?
Only Jesse.
This was a new car, Jesse. What happened, mate? I found a mandarin. Is that from
That's
the
it
floor?
for the car. I'm going to do a bit of a chicken fix. What's in there? But the big question is, the car turned itself off. I didn't turn it off.
Will
Do you reckon we're going to be able to start it? Yeah.
Well, mate, I reckon we could probably get it over there in the sun.
in the sun,
Pop
yeah.
the bonnet, let her have a bit of a sunbake, and then we'll try and get it
The thing
started.
that worries me too is the fuel filter's underwater. So have I got water in the fuel as well? That could be a drama.
That crossing really caught us out. And with the Zook not running, we get the rest of the convoy over so we can take a look at the damage and see if we can start repairing it.
Let's see if there's any water in this airbox.
Well, the Dizzy's up high, so that's
Yeah.
a plus.
It's
Thanks,
still
Suzuki.
wet though.
The carby might have been underwater.
Yeah, I think a bit of it was underwater. Oh, that's very wet, that filter.
The water didn't get in the
It
top
didn't
there.
suck in there though,
Yeah.
no.
What if we take this off, and
Yeah.
if it's clear in there, we can crank it over
Crank
and
it
see what
over,
happens?
A word you never want to hear when it comes to vehicles is hydrolocked. This essentially means there's a mechanical barrier stopping compression. In the internal combustion engine, it generally means that there's water or oil in the combustion chamber, which can't be compressed by the piston. Or in layman's terms, it means this Zook isn't going anywhere soon.
All right. Ooh. Oh. That sounded bad.
That sounded like it tried to compress
That sounded like
water.
it bent a rod.
We should probably take the plugs out.
Yeah, we probably should have done it to start with.
Those faces were not for show. That was a bad sound. We need to investigate if something really bad has happened here. In hindsight, we probably should have removed the spark plug straight away before we cranked it over, and hopefully we haven't done any damage.
So we just did a courtesy crank because it looked like there wasn't any water past the filter on the inlet at the top of the carby there, but it didn't sound too happy. It sounded like it was trying to compress
Yeah, there's quite a bit of water in this one.
water, which isn't good.
We might be lucky our cranking battery is only 330 cold crank amps.
Yeah, might not
Hopefully,
have had enough.
it's just not enough to bend a rod.
So what we're doing now is, because if there's water in the cylinder, you've got a spark plug that's leading in there. Basically, we're going to take the spark plugs out and crank it over, and that will push stuff out of the holes where the spark plugs go into, so you can get all the water out of there. Same principle, if you roll a vehicle and you get oil in the combustion chamber, sometimes you can take the injectors out if it's a diesel, or the spark plugs, crank it over and get the pressure out of there before you do it again. Hopefully, we're good, but we'll see.
You ready?
Yep.
It's a squirter. I saw that over there. I don't know how it sucked in so much water. Which cylinder did that come out of?
4.
Do you want me to keep going, or is
Yeah.
that about it?
Keep going. There's more in there. Stop there. So what we're doing here is we're just cranking the engine over, because if there is any water in there, as you saw, there is. We're just trying to get it all out, because if you can imagine, a cylinder has a piston inside it, and as it moves up and down, at the top there where all the fuel goes in, if there's water in there, as the piston comes up, it tries to compress that water and it can't. And the only thing next to bend, usually, is what's called the con rod, which is what the piston bolts to, and that's called bending a rod. Yeah, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it's happened, but we'll find out.
He really wanted it.
It wants it.
The little Zook is slowly kicking over, but I reckon, as like most petrols that go through water crossings, water is the enemy. And there's still a bit of moisture in places there shouldn't be, which is stopping her from firing up.
Maybe spray some brake cleaner in the
Yeah,
carby.
a bit of brake cleaner, yeah.
Brake cleaner is probably not the best thing to use, but it is alcohol based and it's all we've got. So hopefully it's going to help.
Keep going. What a rig!
She wants to kick over. A few more cranks and I reckon we'll be on here.
There we go. There we go.
Ran on its own speed now.
How good's that?
Clipping
What a
once
rig.
again. What can't Clifford do?
Lives to fight another day.
Maybe we should paint him yellow because he's a submarine.
Yeah.
Old cars. Doesn't get much better.
I've seen a few things in my time, but for an engine to spit out water, then only moments later kick over, well, that's a testament to the old Zook. Now Jesse's vehicle might be up and running, but his clothes, they've seen better days. I reckon those undies could have done with a wash anyway, mate.
Mate, Big Clifford lives to fight another day.
I'm so happy we got him started. I was a bit worried when I did that first crank, but he's running now, probably better than ever. It's idling quite nice.
It's good, mate. It's timely, because we're not done yet. I've got another 6 spot in mind that I really want to take you to, another epic hill climb, and if we hurry, we might just get there for sunset.
Oh, perfect. I'm
How good
keen.
is this, though? Epic adventure.
Yeah.
We've got Zooks underwater,
Yeah.
we've got sick hill climbs, and
It's awesome.
we've got a surprise for you at the end. Let's get on the road.
I love the VIC High Country. There's always a surprise.
Oh, I don't envy Jesse getting onto some soaking wet seats in the Zook. Fortunately, the N70's nice and dry, and I've got some good Razorback seat covers to protect the seat, considering how filthy I just got. Sorry, Jesse, it's a bit nicer in here, mate.
That was a deep Zook swallowing river crossing, mate. How's she driving after that?
There's a few things a bit wet in here, but it's actually running probably better than it ever has. I reckon it just needed a good clean out inside the motor.
Yeah, probably. It's amazing what happens when you take spark plugs out and clean out the cylinders.
As you can see, I'm one with nature at the moment. Look at this seatbelt mark. It's been a dusty day. I'm a dusty dude, but I'm forward driving in a high country in a little Zook, and it is awesome! Woo!
Not far up the road is another camp we tracked down through the Wiki Camps app, and she's a doozy.
That's about as specky as it gets, I reckon. Couple of cold ones, get the fire cranking, and enjoy the view, I say.
Absolutely, mate. Look at this. Look at this spot. Oh, what a sensational part of the world we're in. How lucky are we?
Sometimes you get to a campsite so special that it's hard to describe. And as you pull up, you get those warm, glowing feelings that only a night under the stars can give you. This is one of those spots. Getting to locations like these are what ultimately keeps me doing what I do.
What do you reckon, Jesse? For now, we've got a roaring fire, a couple of cold beers, get a bit of dinner on.
Smack a few beers.
Sean's not here, so who's cooking? I don't know what to do when Sean. Oh, there's a bit of lightning there. Do you want to cook? Or do you want me to cook?
Well, scissors, paper, rock.
Scissors, paper, rock.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, I have to use this hand. Scissors, paper, rock.
That was very delayed.
Yeah, you did. So I think because you delayed it and I drove better than you today, you should cook.
All right, then I'm cooking.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Well, Jesse, it's not exactly a gourmet Shauno special, but I reckon that'll do us for the night. Time to hit the swags and get ready for one last day of wheeling. Another beautiful high country sunrise reveals what was an absolutely stunning camp spot. But we've got an awesome day planned to wrap up our high country tour today, so it's a quick spot at brekkie and time to pack up the rigs.
All right. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Parks Victoria and 4Drive Victoria. With the seasonal closures down here, whilst it means you can't drive your favourite tracks during the winter months, what it does mean is when you do get to experience them in the peak season, they're that much better. You can look forward to them a lot more. It means that they're not getting ripped up and torn up when the tracks are wetter. And when you do come out here, everything's well signposted, the tracks are looked after. People here respect the tracks because they get to use them in the summer months and really appreciate them. I think now more than ever, it's so important that we look after our tracks with rubbish, look after our tracks with how we drive on them, because if we don't, they're not going to be around for much longer. And I think Victoria are currently leading the charge with how well they maintain their tracks. And whilst we're showing everyone these amazing places to explore, it's just as important that we educate at the same time on how to look after them.
For our final day for this leg of the trip, we're checking out a track that's perhaps one of the most famous in the area, the notorious Billy Goat Bluff track. It's a huge exposed climb out of the valley to a mountaintop, with a long series of steep, rocky pinches, which are all pretty much guaranteed to get your palms sweating.
Well, Jesse, mate, another on our list of famous high country tracks. This is Billy Goats, and you think some of the tracks we've pointed our noses up so far are steep? Wait till you get a load of this one, mate.
Mate, I haven't done this track since I was in a baby seat in the back of a Shorty 40 series, so I'm pretty keen to come down here and drive it myself. Hopefully Clifford does me well up this big hill.
Yeah, the only difference now is you're in a baby Zook, not a baby. Get it?
Yeah, I'm not the baby anymore, the car is. Oh my god. This is terrifying. Hold on to your hats! We're going up, going up!
I mean, will you look at that thing go? Just making mincemeat of that hill. But I reckon it's got something to do with the driver behind the wheel. Well steered, Jesse, mate. Billy Goats just doesn't let up and just continues to climb up and up, getting steeper and trickier the further up the mountain you go.
Yuck, that looks scary.
The good news is it's wide, mate, so you can just like snake your way up. I'm going to go through the guts and see what happens, but maybe you don't go this way.
Oh, good luck.
If you make it up to the top, some of the best views of the high country await you.
There we go. Long dog.
Oh, that looks scary.
You're going to bounce around a bit on this hill, mate. Bring her up.
Wish me luck. This could be the last you see me. It's been a good journey. Thanks for watching the channel. It's scary because you're going to go fast because it doesn't have flex, but oh my god. You can probably tell by my face. This is not ideal. Oh my bloody goodness. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Yeah, go to little Suzuki.
Wow! That was frightening. Wow.
Oh, she's steep. There we go.
It's like a little mountain goat there, Liv.
Mate, you're doing that thing that Sean and Graham do when they're standing next to me. They stand on a rock to look tall.
I always try and get the same height as you, yeah, exactly.
Speaking of heights, have you noticed how high we've come up into the mountains?
We're very high.
And it keeps going up.
And it keeps
going
getting
up.
steeper and steeper, every little hill.
If there was a car I'd like to not be in for this, it'd be a short wheelbase Suzuki Sierra.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Do you know a guy who... Oh, you're driving.
Have you got a spare passenger seat?
No, I don't, mate. So
Oh, you got
I'll go
stuff
up the top. And the best part is, by the time I get up, I reckon this storm is going to come over.
It's about to pour down rain.
Yep.
So, yeah, good.
It's like a Sunday drive. This thing is, I'm coming around to it, I'm learning how it likes to drive, getting a bit of seat time, and I'm getting a bit more used to it each time I drive it, and I'm liking it. The suspension's working quite well.
All right, Jesse, I've shown you how it's done. Give it a send.
Here goes nothing. Actually could die in this one.
Come on, Zuki. That's the line. That's the line. That's the Zuki line. All day, sir. What Hilly says.
Right now is probably a good time to point out that this is actually a pretty insane thing to do. To take an old, unmodified Zook up steep tracks with cliffs on each end, well, hats off to you, Jesse.
Billy Goats and the Goat Zook just climbed up. Big Tough Dog 80, flexing his way up. Having an auto and a petrol would be so mint.
Blake's up next, and with its smooth as butter approach, the 80 climbs its way up nicely.
Nice, mate. Yeah, I reckon Liv is just going to take her time here. You know, being a bit more of a tourer, there is a bit more weight in the back, so we'll just have to make sure we get a nice line with the vehicle, but I reckon she'll nail it. She's been driving that thing. First, you know, someone who doesn't do a lot of this tougher stuff and does a lot more touring.
She's been showing us boys up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to show you up, Jesse, let's be honest. But
that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Betty, you got this. Oh, that was a big one.
It doesn't have much droop, eh?
Nah, it doesn't. It's already pretty much in full droop.
Yeah. These CVs are on scary angles.
Straight up.
Straight up. This side with a little bit of momentum, just keep it steady. That's you. That's it. Nice and steady momentum. Look at that.
Up she goes.
Beautiful job. Perfect throttle control.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
The tyres are just gripping.
The rear end of that works quite well, eh?
Yeah.
And here comes the big lounge chair.
Yeah.
Go up that way. Yes.
I think this is actually Liam's driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys. Do you know where the challenge is, or?
The rear line was over there, mate.
Yeah. It's over to your right, but you went around it.
Of course, halfway up the mountain, rain starts to fall. And if there's one thing that can make steep tracks even scarier, it's steep, wet tracks. But a bit of water isn't going to deter Jesse.
At the start, when Jock dropped me off to this cardboard board, I was a bit worried, a bog stock Zook going to the high country, but it's really brought me back to basics. I've really got to think about my lines, think quickly sometimes, got to do a bit of zigzag and stand at the holes, try and keep the axles flat because there isn't much flex. But I'll tell you what, it is a ton of fun. It's got me thinking over time, and for a stock Zook, it's blown my mind the places I've taken it. It's I'm on my limit. It's very scary without a roll cage. I'm pulling some funny faces to the in-car cameras, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm out here full driving, doing what I love with my mate Jocko and a few other new mates. It's a good time. I love Victoria wheeling, and this Zook's definitely keeping me on my toes.
As we start to reach the peak of the mountain, the clouds have moved in, making for a pretty remarkable backdrop.
It's raining, it's getting rockier, it's getting slipperier. I'm still leaning forward for a bit of ballast, but we're literally in the clouds. We're part of the sky at the moment with that eye. It's pretty crazy. I bloody love this place. Going in the bushes. Oh my God, we're going in the bushes. Holy tomorrow. Wow. It's like a bucket Bronco. The wheels go in the air when it lands, and you do a wheel stand. You just gotta rev it up.
Oh,
Finally, after a day of climbing, we've arrived at the peak of Billy Goats and are rewarded with an absolutely stunning view. But there's one final thing I want to show the guys, and with a bit of luck, I reckon we can get there just on sunset.
Mate, Billy Goats, what a spectacular track. I have to say, there are a few times there I didn't think you were going to get up
the little Zuki that could surprise the heck out of us. How'd you find it?
Yeah, mate, like you said, that track is absolutely spectacular. I loved every minute of it. This thing just keeps amazing me out. I had a ton of fun, and the best part was we got such a great crew with us too, made it even better.
It's almost poetic, mate. Speaking of great crew, Blake, mate, in the Quite Achiever Tough Dog 80, how'd you find that track? Couple of steep bits there, hey?
Yeah, mate, it's been unreal. The VIC High Country, second time down here. Definitely God's country down here, and even better catching first-hand glimpse of Jesse rolling around the Suzuki like a bobblehead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, mate, you absolutely nailed it. And speaking of nailing it, Liv, behind you, some cracking drives. I don't think I've seen a D-Max on 3 wheels more than I have today. That was outstanding.
Thanks, mate. It's been an absolutely epic trip, I do have to say. You know, awesome crew. The tracks have been incredible. I really feel like I've put the D-Max, you know, through her paces and to the test, and it's been bloody unreal.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just on a side note, Liv, we've always been pushing to have a female on the main travel shows, and I couldn't think of a better person to do it for the first time. I think you set a good example for girls who want to get out and do full driving. Hopefully, there'll be plenty more trips to come in that D-Max because you wheel it like an absolute weapon.
Oh, mate, I can't wipe the smile off my face. Thank you so much. It honestly means the world, and it's been bloody unreal.
And finally, we've got a Toyota at the front and a Toyota at the back. Liam, mate, how good's this?
Mate, I just want to say a big kudos to everyone. You have absolutely wheeled the crap out of these tracks. Clifford, the 80, Liv, absolutely outstanding job.
Couldn't have put it better myself. I think everyone drove amazingly well considering the track and the conditions changing a fair bit. And if I do say so myself, I reckon I'm surprised with the big N70 up the front. I mean, it's its first trip and I've been pretty impressed with it so far.
With a few more switchbacks and one final push, we get to the top of the mountain just on dusk. And would you have a look at that? An absolutely spectacular scene to top off what has been a trip nothing short of epic.
Well, Jesse, mate, I don't know about you, but this has been an epic adventure. Look at how you are.
I got a seatbelt light up me. It was very dusty in that Zook today.
I don't know if you can see that, you poor bugger, but mate, as I said earlier, you drove that thing.
Unreal.
Yeah, so
VIC High
good.
Country never disappoints.
I just like wherever you go, there's an epic view or there's an awesome river, there's beautiful camping.
Yeah. You could never get bored here. I don't think you ever could.
And in true us fashion, mate, it's dark. We got to the hut, but
yeah.
we were wheeling until late. Yeah. So, mate, I recken this is going to be us. Let's find a spot maybe over there.
I might go in there, I reckon.
You, mate, wherever you need to go, get some baby wipes and get the dust off you. But thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on
Full Drive 24/7.
Our high country journey is far from over. Next time, we're taking on a pub run like no other.
Holy moly!
As we try to make it to a classic old waterhole in the heart of the mountains.
Oh, this is so scary!
Like always, things don't go to plan.
Well, here we are. Something's not right in there, eh?
And our mission soon turns into a fight just to make it out.
I'm running out of brakes pretty quick, actually. Inch by inch, we're getting closer to that beer at that pub.
Don't miss the second half of our VIC adventure.
It's a dead car.
Coming soon to 4-wheel drive 24/7.
Strap yourselves in. This has been a trip.